Good evening, everyone, friends, viewers, people who've never seen me before. If anyone's unclear about the government advice as we enter the next 3 weeks of lockdown, if I turn that over there, that's better. Right, if anyone's unclear about the government advice as we enter 3 weeks of lockdown, here is the summary of the advice. You must not leave the house for any reason, but if you have a reason, you can leave the house. Masks are useless at protecting you against the virus, but you may have to wear one because it can save lives. But they may not work, but they may be mandatory, but they may be not. Shops are closed, except for those that are open. You must not go to work, but you can get another job and go to work. I.e., you can change the profile of your job or the description of your job. Like the range can now be open, the range superstore, whatever you want to call it, because it now sells fridges, freezers and cookers. Clever move. You should not go to the doctors or to the hospital unless you have to go there, unless you are proper poorly or too poorly to go there. The virus can kill people, but don't be scared of it. It can only kill those who are vulnerable, and those people who are not vulnerable people, it can also kill you if you're not vulnerable. It's possible to contain or control it sometimes. Oh, got a problem here. Oh no, viewers, it's gone wrong. If you bear with me, I will sort this out. Oh no. Oh no, it's only done 6. Bear with me, caller. You should not go to the doctors or go to the hospital unless you have to go there, unless you are too poorly to go there. Number 6, the virus can kill people, but don't be scared of it. It can only kill those people who are vulnerable. Of those people who are not vulnerable people, it is possible to contain and control it. Sometimes, except that sometimes it actually leads to a global disaster. I think we covered that one just now, but I did have a hiccup with the technology. It must be Huawei from Wuhan that is causing the problem. Gloves won't help, but they can still help, so wear them sometimes or not. Stay at home, but it is important to go out. There is no shortage of groceries in the supermarket, but there are many things missing. Sometimes you won't need loo rolls, but you should buy some just in case you need some. The virus has no effect on children except those children it affects. Animals are not affected, but it's late in the day, but there is still a cat that tested positive in Belgium on Friday, in February, same thing, when no one had been tested, plus a few tigers here and there. Stay 2 meters away from tigers, see point 11. You will have many symptoms if you get the virus, but you can also get symptoms without getting the virus. get the virus without having any symptoms, or be contagious without having symptoms, or be non-contagious with symptoms. To help to protect yourself, you should eat well and exercise, but eat whatever you have on hand, as it's better not to go out shopping. It's important to get fresh air, but don't go to parks, but go for a walk. But don't sit down except if you are old, but not for long. If you are pregnant, or if you are not old or pregnant but need to sit down, don't sit down for long. If you don't sit down, don't eat your picnic. Don't visit old people. But if you have to take care of old people and bring them food and medication, then you can go out. If you are sick, you can go out. You are better, but anyone else in your household can't go out when you are better unless they need to go out. You can get restaurant food delivered to the house. These deliveries are safe, but groceries you bring back to your house have to be decontaminated outside of your house for 3 hours, including pizza. You can see your older mother or your grandmother, but they can take a taxi or meet an older taxi driver. Sounds like blind date or first date. Wouldn't be first dates, would it? You are safer if you maintain the safe social distance when out. But you can't go out with friends or strangers at the safe social distance. The virus remains active in different surfaces for 2 hours or 4 hours, 6 hours, days, not hours. But it needs a damp environment to fail, or a damp environment to pass. Or a cold environment that is warm and dry in the air. As long as the air is not plastic. Oh, I understand that. Schools are closed, so you need to home educate your children unless you can send them to school because you're not at home. You might be a key worker, so you can't be at home, so you send your kids to school, and the school is closed. If you are not at home, you can home educate. If you are at home, you can educate your children using various portals and If you are not at home, you can home educate your children using various portals and virtual classrooms. Unless you have poor internet or more than one child at home and only have one computer and are working from home, and you've only got one computer, you can't teach more than one child. Baking cakes can be considered as maths, science or art. If you are at home educating, you can include household chores to be education. If you are at home educating, you can start drinking at 10 a.m. If you are not at home educating children, you can also start drinking at 10 a.m. That was the bit that interested me. The number of corona-related deaths will be monitored daily, but we don't know how many people will be infected or are infected, as they are only testing those who are almost dead to find out if that's what they're going to die of. The people who die of corona who aren't counted won't be counted. Situation 25. You should stay in lockdown until the virus stops infecting people, but it will only stop infecting people if we all get infected. So it's important we get infected and some don't get infected. You can join your neighbours for a street party and turn your music up for an outside disco, and your neighbours won't call the police. But people in another street are allowed to call the police about your music. No business will go under due to coronavirus. No business will go under due to coronavirus except those businesses that have already gone under. Now, I hope that has been a great help. I will update you if there is any changes. Okay? Coronavirus over and out.